Good morning. More income, less stress, more time. My name is Eddie Zubia. I have been in real estate for 30 years. I train real estate agents how to get real estate listings, how to get listings in low inventory markets. I am not talking about FSBOs, expireds, farming, cold calling, door knocking, or Facebook ads, or any other traditional methods that you are thinking about it. Would you believe me if I told you there are more listings right in your own backyard than you could ever handle? There are more real estate listings in your own backyard with literally no competition. No competition real estate listings. Property owners will beg you to take their 6% listings. I am not a good salesperson. I am not a good marketer. I'm a very average guy. I could be dropped in any city in America. I do not know one person, or I have one connection. And in a few days, I will have a good sellable listing from a motivated seller, and I will close escrow in 10 to 30 days. When I started as a real estate sales agent, I started as a listing agent. Everyone was telling me I was going to fail. It's not that I'm smarter. It's just that getting listings was my focus for years. I dreamt, woke up, slept, ate, everything real estate listings. Real estate success. Three real estate listings closing a month. I was a real estate newbie, and I was closing 3 real estate listings a month, working by myself. Real estate education. For the first 13 years of my real estate career, I worked for a real estate records company, a real estate lender, a real estate bankruptcy attorney, and a real estate investor. Real estate education. The education that I received is invaluable. The education that I amassed working with a lender, with an entrepreneur, with a lawyer, with a real estate investor is only available here and not anywhere else. Those guys also exposed me to guys like Jay Abraham and Dr. Deming. Jay Abraham is one of the top marketing guys in the world. His hourly consulting fee is $5,000 per hour with an 8-hour minimum. Dr. Deming taught innovation and optimization to Japan, to Toyota, to Ford Motor Cars, to Porsche. His daily rate was $15,000 per day, and I'm talking in the 1970s and the 1980s. My first real estate business is on my own. First, I did real estate listings. Then I owned a property preservation business, cleaning up REO bank-owned properties during the mortgage meltdown. Real estate listings. I started my real estate career as a listing agent. I made 6 figures my first year in real estate. I started getting listings after I spent a few $100 in marketing, and I will share with you more about that in a bit. My second business was cleaning up REO foreclosure cleanups. I predicted the mortgage meltdown of 2008, and I started a property preservation business in 2006. Property preservation is a business that cleans up foreclosures for banks, for loan servicing companies and asset companies. The houses that you see boarded up, fenced up, that's what property preservation does. I had explosive growth. I went from a company of 1 to have 25 people working for me. I started with 0, no clients, and I did not know the business. The reason I was successful is because I was in it before everyone else. I predicted it before everybody else got into the business. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Very important. This is the most important lesson that I'm trying to show you. If you understand the real estate trends and you can make an educated decision about the real estate market, you will be able to run circles around your competition. When I did real estate listings, I instinctively knew that real estate was going to have huge growth. When I started my property preservation company in late 2006, I instinctively knew that real estate was going to go into a recession. Working with the lenders, the lawyers, entrepreneurs for all those years paid off. It's kind of like I didn't know what I know, but now that I look back at it, now I understand it and I'm able to make sense of it. And this is the most important factor to real estate success, is understanding the markets and the trends. And from what I am reading now, and from what I see that is going on in our economy, the next recession is going to make the mortgage meltdown of 2008 seem like a trip to Disneyland. Are you ready for the next recession? Success in booming or bust real estate market. For the past 17 years, I have been on my own. My personal income has been six figures year after year in a declining market or in a booming market. That's what I'm going to show you as well, is how to have a thriving business during a recession or during a booming market. When I started my real estate career, I was just like everyone else that starts in real estate. My plan was I wanted to work with everyone. I wanted to work with buyers. I interviewed at a big brokerage house, and they were encouraging me to work with first-time home buyers. And the reason they were encouraging me to work with first-time home buyers is because if I made a mistake, the client would not know any better. And they told me that I could get listings after 4 to 7 years. The clients that I helped buy their house, when they wanted to sell, that's when I could get listings. I wanted to work with real estate loans because I had experience working with real estate loans. I wanted to work in business sales because a friend of mine was selling businesses and he was doing very well. Direction, focus. My plan was wrong, wrong, wrong. Real estate listings only. One of my mentors was my former boss. In conversation, I told him I wanted to get into real estate sales. He said, okay, you will do well. But in a serious tone, he said for me to focus all of my efforts on getting real estate listings only. My boss had a portfolio of real estate assets across the country, and he would regularly hire listing agents for listings and for BPOs on their properties. My real estate mentor had 50 years of real estate experience. He started as a bank teller. Then he did financing for pools and construction for real estate. Then he did more conventional lending like first loans and second deeds of trust. One time he managed a mortgage company that had 50 loan agents. From there, he went to own his own mortgage company that he did very well. Then he became a real estate investor, very successful, very smart man, and he built his way up. He was my mentor. So that's what I'm trying to tell you here is whoever you're going to work with, make sure that they've really worked with in real estate and they know what it is like to be in real estate. So I've done it all for the last 30 years. Everything that I'm talking to you about here, I have done. 911 real estate career. So for the first 13 years, I worked for these other guys, and then I started going on my own. So I was prepping for my real estate state exam. Then 9/11 happens. The whole country was in a state of shock. The whole country shut down for 2 weeks. The reason I bring up such a sad thing and a bad thing, 9/11, is because I'm trying to tell you is that if I did not have the solid foundation of my real estate business, I would not be here with you today. I would have failed. I'm sure like most of the people that got into real estate on their own at that time, 87% of people get out of real estate after 2 years. But I did not fail. We did not know if we were going to go into a recession or into a war. It was a very scary time for Americans. 3 real estate closings. I started my real estate marketing campaign and I started on a shoestring budget. I started with a few $100. That's all the money that I had. Real estate success. In a few months of starting my real estate career on my own, I started closing 3 real estate listings a month. I would get a listing, I would put it up on the MLS. Some of my listings I would double end, and some of my listings the seller would accept an offer from a buyer's agent. Either way, I was going to receive a commission check. 10-day escrow real estate win-win. Some of my listings I would double end. The listings that I would double end were usually all cash offers. Close in 10 days, the property is being sold as is, no negotiations, no repairs. I would negotiate for the seller to move out 5 to 10 days after the close of escrow. Once the sellers had some cash, they would move out fast. No stress real estate listings. It was very, very profitable. I would work a few hours. I would get the listing. I would go meet with them during the listing appointment. That was a couple of hours of work. I would put it up on the MLS, another couple of hours of work. After that, after about a week of that, then I would review the offers and do the counter offers. That was another 2 to 3 hours worth of work. And at the close of escrow, it was another couple of hours of work, and I got paid. Listing agent or buyer's agent. I was busy listing my clients' properties. I would put them up on the MLS. I would receive calls for more experienced agents, agents that had been in real estate for years. I had been in real estate for months. They would plead with me to accept their client's offer. They would tell me that they had not closed an escrow in months, that they have been showing houses for months, driving around, submitting offers, a lot of hard work with no pay. Paying it forward real estate listings. I had to do what was best for my clients. I had to be fair. That is when I understood why my boss said to work with real estate listings only. I am paying it forward with you now. Focus all your efforts on working with real estate listings. You can represent all the buyers you want from your listings, or when I submitted an offer and it was not my listing, we already had a done deal. All we had to do was put it on paper, put it on the purchase agreement. But I would never submit an offer showing houses, spending time, investing time where we're not going to get anywhere. It was a maybe. It was always a for sure deal. Think different real estate listings. Okay, let me share with you your first listing source with no competition. And there are lots of other listing niches with no competition. And again, I'm not talking about FSBOs or expireds or FSBO scripts that don't work. One of my goals is to open up your mind so you think different than your competition. Once I open up your mind, you will see things differently. You will see opportunity everywhere. You will see things and opportunities that others and your competition cannot. Do you want to work with motivated sellers or with cranky sellers that are unrealistic with their pricing, that they want to sell their property 15, 20, 25% above the market value? Or do you want to, and they want to buy their next property at 10 and 20% below the market value? These are unrealistic clients. Or you want to work with motivated sellers that are eager to work with you, that will beg you to take their 6% listings. These are great properties, great clients, and they are everywhere from a starter condo all the way to $1 million properties. Have an open mind. There is an unlimited amount of leads. There are fresh new leads every single day, and you can get them for free. Earlier in the webinar, I mentioned that I worked for a Chapter 13 bankruptcy lawyer. I worked for a bankruptcy lawyer for several years. Easier than conventional transactions. This can be the difference between struggling and spinning your wheels or having explosive growth in your real estate sales career. These transactions are easier than conventional transactions, 100% easier. There is a learning curve, but I break everything down step by step. Everything is broken down into baby steps. Seller buyer commission. Chapter 13, federal bankruptcy reorganization. There are different types of bankruptcies, but let's talk about Chapter 13. A Chapter 13 real estate listing is no different than any other real estate transaction. In its simplest form, there is a seller and there is a buyer. It is your job to connect the two, and you will be paid a commission. Big need real estate listings, no competition. There is a lot of stuff that happens in between the opening of escrow to the closing of escrow in Chapter 13, but I will show you exactly how to do it step by step. Once I show you, you are not going to believe how simple it is. But remember, I worked for a bankruptcy lawyer for years, so that's how I learned to do all this stuff. A Chapter 13 is a federal reorganization, and I'm just going over very broad strokes just so you have a basic understanding of it, but we get into more detail inside listing generation system where you will know all the lingo inside and out. So Chapter 13 is a federal reorganization. Property owners fall behind with their house payments every day in every city across America. They get sick, they lose their job, they have a family emergency. It could be anything. The majority of people that file Chapter 13 are homeowners that are delinquent with their house payments, that are in foreclosure. So they go see a lawyer. Easier than conventional listings. The lawyer files a Chapter 13 for them. Now they have to make regular monthly payments, and they have to make a planned payment to catch up the delinquent amount. The repayment plan is between 36 to 60 months. The repayment plan is the delinquent amount divided by 60 months, 36 to 60 months. So now they got to make a regular monthly payment to their mortgage plus the court plan payment, the delinquent amount, divided by 60 months. Some property owners are able to fund the plan and get themselves out of financial trouble. Unfortunately, some property owners are not able to fund the plan. No competition real estate listings. They were able to make the payments for a few months, but then in a few months, they fall behind again and they are not able to keep up their regular payments. As you know, most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and they are just one bad engine away, one transmission away from being in financial trouble. So they would make an appointment to see the attorney, and they would tell the attorney that they're falling behind in their payments again. They could not keep up with both payments, with a planned payment and with a regular monthly payment. The attorney would advise them to sell their property, to hire a local real estate agent, and that we in the law office, we would work in liaisons with the agent, with a court, with a lender, with the escrow company, and the buyers and the sellers. Most agents did not want to or know how to navigate through a Chapter 13 and selling a property. In listing generation system, you will learn exactly how to do it step by step. Once you learn how to do it, once you learn how to do your first one, the rest will be very easy and very profitable. Okay, let me take you into the future 90 days. Helping clients getting paid. You get your training from listing generation system. You fire up your marketing plan to get Chapter 13 listings. And again, I break everything down step by step into baby steps. You will get your first Chapter 13 listings. You will either double end the transaction or the seller will accept an offer from a buyer's agent. Either way, you are going to get paid. You go through the escrow process, the disclosures, escrow instructions, the grant deed, and everything else in between. You are doing real estate work. You are working. You're not just spinning your wheels showing houses. Escrow closes and you receive your commission check. Best feeling in the world. The best part is the family that you helped that was going through a hard financial times, you helped them to restart their lives. There's no feeling like it in the world. When you hand them a check for 50,000, 75,000, or 100,000, whatever their equity is, and you hand it to them when they thought they were going to lose it all, they will be so appreciative. They will love you. They will refer you. I got addicted to handing checks like that. It's the best feeling in the world when you help somebody. If you have any questions, you can contact me via my contact page at listinggenerationsystem.com/contact. Or if you want to get on fast track and get started right away, guarantee your real estate success. My phone number is 213-804-7437. It's the only cell number I have ever had. If you want to stop by and visit, my office is located in the World Trade Center in downtown Los Angeles, 1 block north of the famous Bonaventure Hotel. Thank you for attending the webinar.